Okay, if the flat represents 1, then the long is 10. There are 10 of these longs in one of these flats, right? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 of these longs makes up a flat, so that means that this is 1/10. And then what does a single square represent? How many of these single squares are in the flat? There's 10 by 10. There are 100 of these little squares in here. So this represents 1/100th, 1 out of 100. So again, we're going to let the large square or the flat represent 1. So what does this picture represent? Well, this is 1. These are tenths. The longs are tenths, and I have 7 of them. And the shorts are hundredths, and I have 4 of them. So 1.74. Given that the large square represents 1, make a drawing to represent 3.25. Okay, so that's going to be 3 flats because the flats are 1. Okay, 3 flats, 2 tenths, so that is 2 longs, and 5 hundredths. Okay, given that the large square represents 1, make a drawing to represent 1.8. Okay, so my flat is 1, so I'm going to do that for the 1 part. And then I have 8 tenths, and each long represents a tenth, so I have 8 longs. And I have no hundredths, so I don't draw any little shorts. Given that the large square represents 1, make a drawing to represent 1.08. So 1 is the large square. I have no tenths, so I'm going to have no longs, and I have 8 hundredths, so I have 8 of these shorts. Given that the large square represents 1, make a drawing to represent 0.43. So I have no wholes, I have no ones. I have 4 tenths, which is 4 longs, and 3 hundredths, so 3 shorts. For each number line below, determine which decimals should be at the tick marks labeled A and B, given that the plotted point is the indicated decimal. Okay, so this point right here is 5.3438. So I'm just thinking about what's on either side of this number. So I'm really, really close to the next tick mark. So this 8 indicates I'm really, really close to 3.344, right? So I'm really, really close to having this be 0.44. Another option would be if the tick mark was 5.34, but if that were the case, then um, 3.8, this point would be over on this side because it would only be like 38% of the way to the next tick mark, but it's really, really close to the next tick mark. So I think that this is 5.344, and this is 5.343 because it's looks like about 80% of the way from 5.343 to 5.344, and that's what that 8 is telling me, that it's about 80% of the way there. Which means I can fill in the rest of the tick marks that this is 5.345, 5.346, up to 5.349, and then B would be 5.35. Okay. And then I'll work backwards to A. So this would be 5.342, 5.341, and this is 5.34.